Yo, this is episode 2 of No Idea What I'm Doing. This is my journaling series where I'm coming on camera and just being very open, honest, transparent about the journey, about the ups, the downs, and just the sheer fact that I have no idea what I'm doing and the process of that. So today I am in Islington, where I'm going to have a meeting with my business partner Val, and we're going to be meeting Josh, who's going to potentially help us a little bit more with marketing and how we can actually get ourselves out to the world and just articulate and present ourselves a little bit better, which I think is going to give us a clearer picture of the clarity of our messaging and our value and how we put ourselves out to the world. So I'm really excited. I love these meetings because I really just love coming together as a team and just driving something forward. And that's in any sense, whether it's creative or whether it's building the kind of creative platform. It's so amazing when energies come together and try and build something. So that's today. Really excited, and I'll catch up after to see if we come to any more clarity for Canada Creative and what we speak about, what we get up to. So cool. Catch you in the bizzle. Yo, so I just had my meeting with my business partner Val and Josh, and it was very eventful. It was very eye-opening. And the thing is, with all these meetings, I think we do get ever closer to just really pinning down and defining what is needed in order to progress. And I think the overarching factor that I kind of presented today in today's meeting was the articulation of who we are and what we do. So I've written some notes. I thought I'd actually just write some notes today, just in the meeting, and what I think we just need a little bit more. What I need to start understanding, and what I think deep down I can't fully understand yet. Which, again, guys, is absolutely fine. We don't need to know every single area of our direction. We just need to understand the passion, the purpose, the mission, the value, and what we want to put out there to the world, which I have such a better understanding about, but something that I think came up today, especially say when you are managing a team or formulating a team or having people around you who are attached to this idea. Something I've realized is the articulation and basic clarity of what you're trying to put across is so important. And I think that is one thing that over this time of, say, building Canada Creative and building just my life, I think I've always struggled with is just the articulation. And it probably stems from an inner root of like my dyslexia, my impulsiveness, my ADHD, energy and processes that hinders me from presenting that clarity to people I want to get on board, the wider public, and just people that I want to present my ideas to. It's always been articulation. When I started Canada Creative and I started Canada Creative Chats, which was the podcast, my main thing with Canada Creative Chats was actually to get me to a new paradigm of understanding dialogue and communication. I realized I was not very good, and I had no idea how to truly communicate with other people. Ask questions. How do you not interrupt? How do you actually listen and then bring value with the conversation through that pathway? And I couldn't do it. Like, I just couldn't. Whenever I was in conversations, I always felt like I needed to say something. I always felt like I needed to present myself in a certain way and have a question ready, have an answer ready. And it just simply wasn't the case. And I found that with Canada Creative Chats when I was doing interviews and creating this podcast, that actually I learned how to listen. And I feel like that was the first step with me knowing how to get better at articulating myself and how to actually present an idea better. without going all over the place and having my impulsive brain just like come out with some random shit. So I think the main personal point for me from this meeting, and what I think I need to improve in and over time get better at, is the articulation of execution. You know, the things that we're executing, how do we articulate that in a better way, clearer way, and more simply, so people can just get it. Because at the end of the day, I know what's going on in here, and I know I know when I speak to people that they get excited, they can see the pathway. But when you're doing that en masse, and you're doing that in smaller settings, or in a short increment of a setting, how do you get that message across? So I think I think that has been a massive struggle for me over the years. That what I think this time is for me to just have a little bit of a clearer vision of how we articulate the message of Canada Creative and the core value of what we're actually trying to present. So it was actually a really great meeting and really important. And Josh provided so much value from an outside perspective, because something that came across within this meeting, which I think was actually really important. Oopsie, that's what happens when you have a lot of wind and a very light tripod. Anyway, so that's what I think came up in this conversation today. Both me and my business partner Val have two different perspectives. We are almost like the right brain and the left brain. In some people's eyes, that almost in a sense couldn't work, because you're so at the opposite spectrums, but I see it working even more so. I'm so passionate about bringing all these different types of people together, and there's almost like evidence for this with, say, me and Val having different perspectives of the same mission within different areas, whether it be complete and utter structure and honing in on the business element and understanding that a lot better until we move forward to the next thing. Whereas with me, I'm very impulsive, I'm all over the place, I want to work on many different factors, be creative within that, and see different avenues and continuously kind of grow in a different creative sense. So it's kind of all over the place. So when you have both of those spectrums and they come together, sometimes it can clash. But at the core root, because we're on the same mission, as soon as you come together in agreement and come to the middle ground, amazing things can really happen. And I think that is what grows a successful business, is being able to what grows a successful business, or what grows a successful entity, is being able to come together with people who may have different thought processes, and being able to come together to an overarching conclusion which brings the value. And then something we noticed as well, which was great to get Josh involved with the conversation today within our internal meeting, was actually to have him as a middle ground, to see both Val's point, my point, and then going, okay, cool. This is what it looks like in the middle. You're saying this, the overarching factor is this. Let's work with this and go step by step. And I think it brings us together, and it just creates something beautiful, because you have different points of view coming together to create positive, valuable entity that can move forward. I'm not gonna lie, actually, I couldn't, again, see, articulation. So I couldn't articulate myself right. So sometimes I just like sprawl out words. Whatever is in my mind, I just sprawl out. And I think that, again, is the underlining factor of what I need to kind of, progress my knowledge in, which is that fucking articulation of just what I'm trying to get across. That's why I think these journal things are actually really good, because I actually have to just sit down and try and articulate myself to you guys as clear as I can, so you can kind of get where to say to you guys and what I'm trying to put out there. So yeah. overall, I think articulation is the biggest factor that we need to kind of get a little bit clearer on, and then that comes within the clarity, it comes within the messaging, it comes within the value that we can present to people. I actually wrote within my notes here, which I think I actually have a problem with sometimes, which comes from this head of creativity and kind of vision and ambition, and feeling like I want to do everything, having that creative brain, being that other side of the brain that is away from structure. This is very prevalent for me. I wrote down how to balance ambition with reality and what we can execute right now. This is where we meet in the middle. This is where the right brain and the left brain meets in the middle. Rather than letting my ambition ideas run on its own and run for kingdom come and just do its own thing and be in complete and utter chaos, because like I said last week, I live within chaos and I will never change that. And it's something I kind of like said to Val today. It was a little bit like, I understand we need more of the structure, but I need to find a way where I can live within chaos but formulate the structure. And that's why today was actually really quite dope, because we really did come into the middle, and I think we've really got to this balance now where we can work together within chaos and within structure. Because the ambition and the reality of that ambition is, okay, can you accomplish that right now, or is that something that is going to be accomplished within the future, and then right now you need to come back to reality and create something that you can actually legitimately execute? Because for some respect, for the last 3 years that I've been trying to build Kind of Creative, is I think that my ambition has almost taken the better of me, and I've thought that we're in a certain place that we may not be in, but I see us in this place, so I feel that we can execute these certain things. But in reality, we haven't presented ourselves publicly on certain aspects, so you can't, again, legitimately or like realistically do certain things that you think that your head can do, or that you think that you can do, because you haven't had the evidence and you haven't presented that value for people to see in order to then present that professionally and all of that. So yeah, it was just something that kind of came to mind after this conversation that I had in the meeting today, that I thought just kind of made sense. And then looking at other points, putting all the pieces together so my team understand the direction so we can move forward. And I've put a side note saying, which comes with the articulation of what we are and what we are doing. So like I said earlier, I think this comes with a progression of the leadership that I need with my articulation and clarity of what we are doing, how we're doing it, and how we're moving forward with that. I have never been a leader, or I've never seen myself as a leader to some respect. So it's been a massive journey for me over the last 3 years. Actually having an idea that I believe in so much, that I believe other people can be a part of, and obviously if people are going to be a part of that idea and journey and mission, then they need leadership, and they need the person, the root of that idea and ambition. They need that person to understand how to present that to the people that are becoming attached to that. So again, I probably didn't articulate myself completely right, but I hope you kind of understand that, yeah, I basically I'm still learning, I'm still progressing, I'm still trying to figure out how to be that leader, and how to be the guy that kind of that runs the shit in order to make the shit happen. So yeah, and it all just stems back to this one idea, which I've got that I've just figured out is the full root of why I don't know a lot of the things that I don't know, is because of the clarity and articulation. So yeah, guys, that's episode 2 of Kind of Creative Chats. No idea what's going on. Again, I still haven't actually defined what the title is, but cool. That's what this is all about. Let's figure out the journey, and let's do it together. And yeah, one step at a time. Cool. So yeah, sweet. That's episode 2. Smash it. Hope everyone's all good. Peace. Let's do it.